Hi, my name's Jonathan Hicks. I'm back at the Dice Cup, and this evening I'm joined by
Steve.
Mark. And we just finished playing Irish Gauge, which is a kind of miniature 18xx game. So essentially, at the start of the game, you're auctioning off shares. You can see the shares only in purple and blue left here, in various different train companies. These are the shares that I've got. So I've got a yellow share and some red and some blue ones. But once you have a share in a company, you can then start sort of investing and developing the network of that company. So for example here, like I have a yellow share, so it means I could start extending the yellow network. So one of the things you can do on your turn is pick trains, you can see I've got trains here, of a company that you have a share in, and extend the network. And what you're trying to do is connect the cities, which are these places with the cubes in. If it doesn't have a cube yet, it's just a town, and there's different costs. So this is like an easy hex, that would cost me 1 point. You kind of get 3 build points. This is a difficult hex, so that would cost me 2 points. And then on another turn, maybe I could build some more things and try and connect it to Killarney. And once it's connected, you're going to get money depending on which towns or cities it connects to. So every town without the cubes gets you £2, and every city gets you £4. So at the moment, the yellow track is worth 4, 8, 12, £14. So you'd kind of set this then to this level here for when dividends pay out. Now the way dividends work is you reach into the bag and you pull out cubes, and the cubes are kind of corresponding to the different cities. So you've got like white ones, black ones and pink ones. So I reach in, I pull 3 cubes out, and we've got, if you can see that, a black one and 2 white ones. Now the order doesn't matter, but the point is that only companies that connect to black or white cities will pay dividends. And yellow does connect to both of those, that's great. But if they were all pink, you see yellow wouldn't actually pay out at all. But any company like red here, you see, connects pink and pink. Oh, but it also connects to black. So as long as you're connecting to one of these, but if you only connected to pink ones, then you wouldn't actually get a dividend. And the dividend is shared amongst the shares. So I've got 1 yellow share, Steve's got 2 yellow shares, so we're splitting £14 between 3 of us. And there's a helpful table here in case you can't do division. And we would get £6 each because you just lose the remainder. So that's another thing you can do then, you get dividends, and that's how you're getting the money. Once you've got the money, what you probably want to do is get more shares, because then you're going to get more money. So you can pick a share here, so this blue one, you say, right, I'm going to auction this share, the £9 is the starting bid, and you say, I'm going to bid 9, and then it's Steve's turn, maybe he bids
10.
And Mark says, and I say, that's too expensive for me, I'm going to pass. And we just kind of carry on going around until somebody wins it, they pay the money to the bank, and then they would get the share added to their thing. And the final thing you can do is you can kind of upgrade one of your towns into a city, and then for this you can actually look into the bag and choose what cube you want. So you can see yellow doesn't connect to any pink ones, so I might go through and say, oh, there's a pink one, I'm going to turn this town into a pink city, which means it's obviously going to be more likely to pay out dividends, because now whatever comes out, it'll be paying out the dividends. So you're kind of racing, if you like, to get the shares and calling the dividends to get the money to buy more shares. Once this dividend track is full up, the game ends and most money wins. What do we think?
It's very quick for this sort of economic-y trainy game. It's also quite brutal. It's not a Euro game. It's a game where you can very early on find yourself with no shot of winning. There are interesting decisions about when you call dividends, and you're often calling dividends. It doesn't really benefit you because everyone gets paid out at the same time. You're often calling dividends as a safety net, so that no one can call an auction of a share when you're not in a position to at least compete for the one you want. If I've got 2 yellow shares, brilliant. But if someone then buys another yellow share, they reduce the amount my yellow shares pay out when dividends come out. So I kind of want to protect my investments in the shares I've got, but obviously you're kind of overspending your money there, and money's how you win the game. I don't think we've got the tactics necessarily down after 1 play from me and 2 from these guys to know whether we're doing the right thing at the start, because it felt very it didn't feel like I knew I was necessarily doing the right thing. I knew what I was doing, but like whether it's the right thing to do, how it played out and that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Mark?
Yeah, this is a difficult one. It encapsulates a part of 18xx very well, and the fact is it's an economic game, and the fact is your margin for error is so small, and the fact is once you're behind, you are behind. You're probably never going to catch up. And that's great if you want to play a game that does that. If you want to play a game like that in 30 minutes, if you know the rules, 45 minutes, that's good. And I like economic games, but yeah, I don't know if I like the fact that it was just so obvious you're out of this game already. And almost then that play could almost end up being a kingmaker to some extent, unintentional. But it does what it's trying to do very well. It's just very brutal. I mean, we played Dominant Species recently, or the marine version, and this feels like it kicks you even harder. Once you are out, you are properly out. I know that was a bit more random. That's the game doing that. But this, once you're behind, you're like a pauper just begging for money on the side of the track because you're down. So yeah, it does exactly what it's trying to do, which is show that real brutal nature in 18xx game.
Rating?
It's really hard. I don't know. I'm gonna give it a 7 because I don't want to think any longer.
In games when you're down and out that I enjoy, it can be fun when we played Stockpile and someone shares bust, and we had a big laugh because they just lost lots and lots of money, but in a fun way. This is just not fun when things bad happen to you. If like it happened bad to Jonathan a couple of times, and I can't joke about it. I can't laugh. It's a much more serious game. So for me, it's probably not my type of thing. And depending on whether the tactics, maybe the tactics can mitigate that and such. And I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether I'm doing it right. But I'll probably get like 5.5, 6 on personal enjoyment.
Okay. Yeah, it is a weird one, and I very much agree with everything they said. I've done very badly both times I've played this, but it is so quick, I personally don't mind, and I feel like I can see where it went wrong. The difficulty is, the next time I play it, I'm not quite sure how I can make it go right. It all comes down to a couple of critical auctions. If you overspend at the wrong time on the wrong shares, or you spend too much money developing one of the companies that then someone else just buys the shares in, so you're halving the amount of money you're getting effectively as soon as they buy another share, then you can really get done in. So I want to play it again and again because I want to kind of master that. How do I get the hang of this game? How do I get to grips with it? So it keeps me coming back for more, even though it's been quite brutal for me every time I've played it. So I'd be on a 7 as well. It's a very interesting game and certainly one I'd recommend trying. I think you will know after you've played it whether or not it's your cup of tea. Alright, thanks for watching. That was Irish Gauge.